Welcome to Stamp Designs with Denise. I'm Denise Johnson, an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, coming to you from Bedford, New Hampshire. So thank you for watching today. I am unable to do my live videos during the month of February, so I thank you for joining me for my recorded classes. I have a stamp club that I meet with every single month. There are 10 wonderful ladies in this group, and during COVID, we have been unable to meet in person, so I have been designing cards and making videos for them, for our club, and then mailing them out to them. And so this week, I will be showing you the cards that I made for my stamp club and the videos that I made for our group. So I hope that you enjoy those. There'll be 3 different cards and some different techniques in them. So that's what this week's videos will contain. Also, I'm still doing my, it's my birthday month. So if you place a minimum of a $50 order with me, you will receive a package of the champagne rhinestones for free this month. As a special thank you for ordering, you get the present for my birthday month. Also, I'm running a promotion where if you order the Hey Birthday Chick bundle, which includes the stamp set and the dies, or the Hey Chick stamp set and bundle from me during the month of February, you'll be entered into a raffle and you could win this postage stamp punch. So there will be one winner. There will be links to order in the description of my videos. Also, I have a blog, stampdesignswithdenise.net, and there will be links in that as well. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoy the videos and have a great day. And today's card I'm going to be making is going to be using a technique called the baby wipe technique. I'm going to be using a couple of the sets from the Sale-A-Bration catalog, which runs January 5th through February 28th. So we're going to be using the corner bouquet, which you can get for free with a $50 product purchase. And for our sentiment, I'm going to be using Heal Your Heart, which is also free with a $50 product purchase. But I'm also going to be showing you the sentiments that come with the Many Messages bundle. So this is one stamp set that stamps out all these sentiments, and then there is a one die that cuts them all out. So I'm going to show you that too, which gives you a lot of different sentiment options. So let's get started with this baby wipe technique. I hope you like this. I thought that this corner bouquet stamp set was perfect for this technique. So what I have is one of the stamp cases, and then I just have some baby wipes I bought at Target. So I'm going to take 2 and sort of fold them up. So the corner bouquet stamp set I'm using is this smaller one. There is a larger one in here that has some more flowers and stuff, but I'm using the smaller one. So my baby wipes just have to be big enough to accommodate that. So I'm going to take, I got 1 down, I'm going to take 2 and fold this one up and put them on here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use re-inkers and add ink to this, because this is going to become my stamp pad. I'm going to ink up my stamp on this, and then transfer that to my paper. So I'm going to start with a little bit of shaded spruce and put this down here. I'm kind of trying to do, so I want to do like greens along here, and then I'll do some yellows and reds along the top. So, and then I have some garden green. This was making a mess last night. I got ink all over my fingers. So let's fill that in. See if I can do this without making a huge mess today. And then I have crushed curry, and then I'm just going to put a few dots down and then I'm going to fill in this white with Poppy Parade. Now, as I said, I don't know if I made it big enough. Yeah, I got to add some more color because it looks like up here I didn't. So I'm going to get a piece of scrap paper and try this just to make sure I've got my ink everywhere. So see the way it has filled in my stamp set, and then if I stamp it here, see the way it makes that design. So you can use this. I think last night I made this card and I made it like 6 or 7 times. So what I'm doing is I have a 4x4 piece of paper, and I don't clean my thing or anything. I just re-ink it again. And like I said, I did it maybe like 6 times before it starts to get sort of muddied and too light. But so see, just ink it up again, and I'm doing it in opposite corners on my 4x4. So I'm going to keep going and do a few of these just to show you that you can do this multiple times with this one baby wipe that you've made into an ink pad. Let me get a couple more pieces of this 4x4. This is Whisper white paper, but our new white is the basic white, which I just ordered and is available to order. I haven't received it yet, so I'm going to be using up the Whisper white that I have in stock. So let's see, I got about 4 of those. 1, 2, we'll do one more. And then we will decorate the inside of our card with this as well. So as you can see, it's starting to get the ink's getting a little bit lighter from the first one that I did, but it still looks nice, has some great color to it. And obviously I could go back and add some more ink, but sometimes it just starts to get muddied up a lot. So let me set that aside, and then I have some more 4x4s. These are going to be the inside of our card. So for this, I have this little flower pattern and then the leaf pattern, which are part of that corner bouquet set. And then for the inside of our card, I'm going to stamp some flowers. And as you can see, depending on where I put it on my ink pad, it has the different color variations in it. And then for our leaf, I'm going to come down here and add that there. So I'll make a few more of those too. So you can make multiple cards with this one ink pad that you've created. Sort of get a little assembly line going. And here we go. I'll do one more. Okay, now we've got the insides of our card done. So I'm going to close this up. And it will stay wet, so if I want to come back later and maybe add a little bit more ink to it and reuse it again, I don't think it's something you can keep doing for days and days on end, but it's a great technique to add some sort of varied colors to your card. So the card I'm going to make is a book fold card. So I have a garden green base. It's 11 by 4 1/4. I have scored this at 5 1/2, and then I've scored it at 4 1/4. So that's going to fold like this. So I have some of the gingham ribbon in the bumblebee. So I'm going to attach this over here. On this little front folded area. And then my bow. Let me grab my bow maker. So this is my little bow maker. The little pegs are 1/2 inch, so I probably put mine about 1 inch apart on this. I'm just going to come up and around. This is fantastic for making bows. I find it the best way for my decorative bows. So there we go with that. And I'm just going to trim that, and then I'm going to use a little glue dot to attach this to the front. Stick that right there, and now I have a layer of the bumblebee that is 4 1/8 by 4 1/8. So actually, I'm gonna attach this card. So I just want this front portion to stick down, so I'm going to use a little bit of glue here. And close that part. And now I can attach my bumblebee layer to the front. And I'll take one of our card front pieces, so I'm going to attach that right there on that layer. And then this is our inside piece. And so now for a sentiment, I have the Heal Your Heart, and it has, we're in this together, sorry for your loss, wishing I could heal your heart, thank you. And then the smaller sayings are, I don't know what I would do without you, and I can't promise to always fix your problems, but I can promise you won't ever face them alone. So this is one of the Sale-A-Bration items. So I have a scrap piece of Whisper White, and I have the Poppy Parade. And I'm just going to stamp that there. And then I have a 2-inch punch. That this fits nicely in. Punch this out. And then attach this right in the center of my card front with some dimensionals. Right, like that. So this sentiment, so for this card I use that thank you sentiment, but some of the other sentiments in the Heal Your Heart, we're in this together, or wishing I could heal your heart, I stamped out and then punched out with other punches just to show you that they worked. This is the story label punch that works with that, and then this is the Label Me Lovely punch. So this sentiment works with that. So those are some other options for that Heal Your Heart for punches. And then these are some of the sample cards that I made using that baby wipe technique. Some of the other cards that I made. This uses that larger stamp set. And this one as well. So for these, I used the sentiments that come from that Many Messages. So I'm going to show you how great that Many Messages sentiment stamp is. So these are all the dies that you get out of it. And as you can see, there's all kinds of sentiments on it. So this stamp set is just one stamp. So the way I do this is, so I have this big acrylic block, which is made for these background stamps. And I'm going to put that on there. And then I'm going to ink it up this way. And I have my sheet of Whisper White paper, so put that down. And I'm going to carefully stamp that right down in the middle. Apply some pressure so that the center ones transfer. Lift it up, and there we go. And there's all my sentiments. And so I have this is the die, which will cut all of these out in one fell swoop. So I line this up as best I can so that it looks like they'll all cut out straight. And I'm going to use some washi tape to hold it in place. And then I'm going to go over to my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, run this through, and I'll be right back. Okay, and so now you can see that I have all my sentiments have been cut out. So this is great. You can make a bunch of these up in all different colors, and then you have all these sentiments ready to go when you need a sentiment for a card. And so here's one of those cards that I just made, and then choose your sentiment depending on the situation. And, you know, the longer ones you can put at the angle. These ones can go like this in the center. You could do several. Happy birthday, hooray, it's your birthday. Sending happy thoughts. So there's tons of possibilities with this Many Messages dies and stamp set. It's a great bundle. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed. We use the corner bouquet, the baby wipe technique. We did a book fold, and then I showed you some different sentiments using the Heal Your Heart and the Many Messages stamp set. I am making a card today that will be using the Paper Blooms Designer Series paper, which was one of the items that you can get for free through Sale-A-Bration. This is all the different patterns. It's 12 by 12 paper, double-sided, and you get 2 sheets of 6 different designs. So, well, 12 different designs, double-sided. And then these are the coordinating colors: Night of Navy, Old Olive, Petal Pink, Rococo Rose, Seaside Spray, and Soft Seafoam. And then the neutral color is white. So in the Sale-A-Bration brochure, it actually says that this paper coordinates with Pretty Perennials bundle. And the Pretty Perennials bundle is on page 31 of your catalog. But that is actually a typo. Stampin' Up! Has actually issued a correction to that. And this paper coordinates with the In Bloom stamp set. However, it works with both. The card I have made, I am using Pretty Perennials. I don't have the In Bloom set yet, but it has quite an extensive die, as you can see with it, and it punches die cuts the flowers so that they have a stitched design on them. I don't know if you can see it on the video, but anyways, if you have the catalog, you can see on the catalog how the dies all have stitching on them. But so anyways, I am going to do Pretty Perennials. This is a stamp set that was designed by Dina Ricow. She achieved $1 million in sales, and so when you do that as a demonstrator, you get to design your own stamp set. And I personally know Dina. She's a wonderful, fun person, and I was at the celebration when she achieved the $1 million in sales, and so I love her stamp set. She wanted it to be happy. She talked about why she designed it. She's a happy person, and she just wanted something that was going to be a happy stamp set. So this is what I'm using, the stamp set, and then the coordinating dies, the perennial petal dies. As you can see, they die cut out stamped images, and then there's some other detail images that can also be die cut out. So let's get on to our card. So this is going to be sort of a fun fold. And so my card base is 11 by 4 1/4. And then I have scored it at 5 1/2. And then I have scored it again at 2 3/4. So I folded them both in like that. Now my Night of Navy layer is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. And then I'm using that Paper Blooms Designer Series paper. So my piece of paper is actually 4 by 5 1/4, and then I have cut this at 2 inches up from the bottom. So paper's double-sided. I did not actually coordinate. I mixed and matched my colors. As you'll see when I show you the cards at the end, I didn't want to just use the paper that was on the back for the bottom, so I mixed and matched all my colors. So I am going to, let's attach this first and get that all attached, and then we'll do our stamping. So I'll use my seal, and I'm going to line that up on the bottom, get that on, and then we'll attach our top piece. Like that. And then I have this silver edge ribbon. Let me find the exact name. This is a metallic edge ribbon, and so this is the silver and white one. So I'm going to put a little tape on the back here where the ribbon is going to fall, and then line it up on the front. Tuck it around that way. So now I want to attach this to my card front. However, this card's going to stand up like an easel, so I only want my adhesive to be on this bottom part. I'm going to use a little bit of glue, and I like the glue because once you get the top layer attached, you can move it a little bit if it's not straight. So again, I just put it on just this bottom half. I don't want anything up here on the top. So line that up. There. And as you can see, it's not attached to the top here. So now let's do some stamping. So I'm going to do my stamping in Night of Navy. This actually, I die cut this label using the Tasteful Label dies. So these are all the different labels that can be die cut with that. And I like this shape because it fits my word happy. So we're going to use Night of Navy. I did this on Old Olive, but as you'll see at the end, I used all different colors that coordinated with the paper, so they're not going to all be the same. So let me line that up. Get that stamped on nicely. And then I'm going to use some dimensionals. So what I actually have already done is I have stamped my flowers. So I did a bunch of different colors depending on what I wanted to match the front of the card. So I stamped the big flower first in Rococo Rose, and then I used Night of Navy for the middle. And then I stamped this flower one in the Night of Navy as well, which is the outline of the flower. And then I used the filler flower for the inside of those. And I did Rococo Rose, that one's the Seaside Spray, and then Old Olive. So I just tried to use the colors that were in the card for the flowers. So what I'm going to do is pop this up with some dimensionals. And I think I'll put one in the middle just so the middle doesn't get soggy. And so this is going to go on the front of our card here, like this. And I'm going to attach one of these larger flowers also with dimensionals. And maybe put just a little bit of adhesive down on the opposite, because that's going to stick onto our label. And then I think I'll do this blue flower. Put a dimensional there. Oh, maybe I don't need a dimensional. I'm going to attach it right here like this. And then we have our sparkle. So I'm going to add some of these rhinestones. To give it some sparkle. And now for the inside of our card, as you can see, I mean, it doesn't stand up. So what I want to do is I'm going to choose one of these other flowers, and I'm going to use a big dimensional. I'm going to put that right in the middle on the back. And then I'm going to put this inside my card. So depending on where I want my card to stand up, if I put that there, it stops the card from collapsing and holds it up, so it would make a nice, it will sit up right on a mantle or a bureau or a desk or something, and then they can look at it. And so with this stamp set, the other sentiments are mail for you, birthday, you make me, and sending lots of. So you use the happy word with these. So I've stamped out a whole bunch of different strips, and then depending on what I am sending the card for, I will attach the strip that I want. So here's some, all I did was just use, it's on a 1/2 inch of paper. And so you see, you could say, you make me happy, happy birthday, sending lots of happy. What else did I miss? Happy mail, happy for you. So then you would just take the sentiment that you wanted and attach it to the thing. I think I will make this one a birthday card. So we will do birthday down there, and I'm just going to attach it right to the other sentiment. But so these are great, this layout. You can make a whole bunch of these, and then you have them already. And if you've cut out all these little sentiments, then when it's ready to go, all you have to do is attach that to it. And then you see it can be like that. So I have another one that I made, and what I actually wanted to do with this one, let me stamp the front. I haven't fully put this together yet. Okay, so this is my other card, and what I wanted to do with this card is I have a whole bunch of these calendars that I bought. I buy them from Vippies, so they're there for the whole year. They have adhesive on the back of this, and I mounted mine on a piece of the Night of Navy cardstock, and I don't know if I wrote down the measurement for that or not. So the Night of Navy cardstock is 3 1/4 inches by 2 1/2 inches. And then I just peeled off that sticky thing and stuck it on there. And what I want to do is actually put this on the inside of my card here. And that will then hold that open. And this will make a nice desktop for my desk. And I like the happy sentiment. So when you're looking at your calendar, it'll just make you happy, which was Dina's intent when she designed this beautiful card set. So I used glue so that it would stick on there pretty good. And so then, see, so I have all of these made up, and basically you can attach, you know, whatever sentiment, the birthday, the sending love, sending happy mail, you make me happy. So let me put all of these out so you can see how, like, see, this is the same top as this one, but I did a different bottom on that. So I interchanged all the tops and bottoms to make them all just slightly different and fun. And I love this paper, which is the Paper Blooms Designer Series paper, which you can get for free with a $50 purchase for the months of January and February. So I hope you have a lot of fun with this card. I like the fold. I like that you can, then here's the card I made. You know, you could stamp a different sentiment on the inside here, write a note, add something else on the inside there. But it's a little bit different. It's a little bit fun. And so today's card is going to use a touch of ink and the blending brushes. A touch of ink is one of the Sale-A-Bration items that you can get for free for spending $100 in product. So it is in the Sale-A-Bration Brochure. It is available until February 28th, and it is on page 12 of the brochure. So this stamp set has a hummingbird, some flowers, butterfly, leaves, and then some filler stamps for that, and then some sentiments. And then the other item I will be using today will be these blender brushes. They're on page 70 of the JJ mini catalog, which is the January to June catalog. And they are a very, very soft brush head that you would use the same way you would use your sponges to blend colors and add ink to your cards. So I have used these. I am going to use a brush for each sort of color family. They come in packages of 3. So as you can see, this is my purple, my reds and pinks, and my greens color families. And then I have some more for my blues, and I think I have a yellow as well. So these are what I'm going to use, and then my ink colors are going to be Pear Pizzazz, Highland Heather, and Rococo Rose. So this is going to be my finished card, what my finished card will look like. And so I'm going to show you how I'm going to do the blending, use the blending brushes first, and then we'll do our stamping. So I have a sheet of the shimmery white cardstock. It has a sort of a sparkle to it. So I like to use this paper for this technique. So I'm going to cut this, and I'm going to take 3/4 of an inch off the sides and the bottom. And then from this one panel, I will be able to make 4 different cards. So my finished piece of paper here is 10 1/4 this way and 7 3/4 this way. So I am going to start by doing my Pear Pizzazz. And so what I want to do is I'm just going to circle my brush around the top, lightly on the top of this, and then I'm going to come in and I'm going to start adding color to my paper here. So just go pick up a little bit more color, and it's a nice light touch. I'm not pushing hard or anything. And as you can see, it's just starting to lightly add this color onto my paper. So I'm going to just keep doing this. So what I'm going to do is, because I want to get 4 cards out of this one piece of paper, I'm going to start and do the green on the other side, and then I'm going to do my Rococo Rose, and then I'm going to do the Highland Heather right down the middle. So I'm going to continue to do this, and then I'm going to speed up the film on my video so that you can see me doing it, but it'll be at a much faster pace. Okay, so I'm happy now with the way I added the colors on. And so now with the brushes, I do not get mine wet because the bristles are so close together. I'm worried about getting water down into them and having it not dry properly and having mold build up. So when I'm done with them, I just kind of will rub them on a scrap piece of paper and just get off as much color as I can. But because I've decided to use one brush for each color family, you know, this is going to dry. It dries pretty fast. I don't think any ink's coming off on my hand. And when I use purple again, it's in the same color family. It's going to be fine. And as you can see, I mean, the colors are going on very lightly. And so if I want it darker, I would just keep adding more ink and adding more ink. And I think that for now, I'm finding this is the good way to just clean up my brushes and then just leave them to dry with the ink. Yes, they are going to be stained. They're going to look stained, but because I have them grouped by color family, I'm not worried about it. Like I'm not going to come back in and maybe do like a red with this or a gray or something because it's already got the green pigment in it. So that's the way I care for those brushes. And they come 3 in a Ziploc package. So basically after I let them sit out for a couple hours, I'm just going to put them back in the Ziploc package, and it actually has a hole in it, so it's not airtight. The air will get in there, but so that's the way I care for them. Okay, so now we have this shimmery white piece of paper that I've added the ink to, and this, as I said, I wanted to make 4 cards out of this one sheet that I've now colored. So as you can see, I did it because it sort of saves me time if I have multiple cards that I want to make. I did all my 3 inks on this one sheet, and now I can cut it down to the size that I want. So I am going to cut this at 5 1/8, and then this is going to be 3 7/8. And so now I have, there's 2 of my layers, and cut this other side to 3 7/8. And there we have our 4 layers. So now I have 4 cards ready to go, and it went together pretty quickly. So actually I wanted to show you as well then, these are the scraps that came off when I trimmed my paper down. They are 3/4 of an inch long. And I am actually going to take this Highland Heather and just add a little bit of purple to them, because then this is what I'm going to do my sentiment on. And so since this is what I cut off, these are the scraps, where it'll be a good use of them for our sentiment. So again, just adding a little bit of purple tinge to this with my blender brush. Okay, so let's do some stamping now. So as I said, this was my sample card, so this is the card I'm making. So I'm just going to do 1 for the video purposes. So I have all of my stamps mounted. So this is our hummingbird, this is the flowers, and then for the sentiment, I'm doing the best wishes. The other sentiments in that set are, thank you so much, hope, thinking of you, love, and hello, friend. So I'm going to do my flowers first, and we're going to use the Memento Black ink. And as you can see on my sample here, I did it across the bottom and up the side. So I'm actually going to start in this one corner here. And then come across the bottom. And then go up the side. Now while I have the black out, I'm going to do my hummingbird. I want to make sure that's inked up nice. And we're going to position her so she looks like she's getting some nectar out of the flower. So of course you could color her in with stamping blends or the watercolor pencils if you wanted to give her a more traditional hummingbird look, but I like this purple color, so I'm going to use the background stamp for her with the Highland Heather. And we'll ink that up. And the background image of her is actually larger than her lined outline. So it's going to hang over a little bit. It's more of an abstract look. It's not meant to fit in perfectly. So don't try and fit it into the lines. It's okay to be outside the lines in this case. And then for the flowers, I filled those in with the Rococo Rose. And so we will, and this is the same thing on this, the flowers don't fill in the lines exactly. They overhang, they're larger than that. So you don't have to worry about being perfectly straight. And this is called two-step stamping. So we're just gonna fill in each one of these. And then, while we have this open, we're also going to do our envelope. So we could just do our flower first because it's open, and then I will get the black back out and ink that up, and we can put that right on top of that. And there we go, that's the front. And we'll do one on the back as well. I need the black out for our sentiment. So I'll leave that open and add some color to our flower on the back of our envelope, and then our envelope is all done. And remember, so I colored these in a little bit with the purple blending brush and said I would use that for the sentiment. So I have the best wishes. So I'm going to stamp that here. And then because I have it out and we're making multiple cards, I'm just going to keep stamping my sentiment on this. And then I've got 4 done all ready for the 4 bases that I made. Let's put this away. And I'm going to trim these. And then I have the Lovely Labels Pick-a-Punch. So there's 3 channels in here. It's 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch, and then a full inch. So this piece of paper is 3/4 of an inch. So I'm going to slide that in. I always turn it over to the back so I can make sure that it's straight and it's lined up. And then we'll punch the other side. There we go. And now I have this gorgeous grape ribbon. It's a sheer ribbon. It's very pliable. It's very nice. And so I just, let's make a nice edge on it. And we'll just go back and forth here a few times on the back. That looks about good. Cut this off here. Okay, I'm having a hard time cutting it. Okay. Just needed to do it from a different angle. Well, I was going to use tape, but I think my tape is actually 1 inch in width, so I'm going to use my seal here, and this will work that way. So just stick it right to the seal. That worked good. And then I'm going to use some dimensionals to pop it up a little bit. And we can add that right to there. And now we're going to layer this. And I forgot I had an inside layer because my card base is black. So we're going to want to decorate this as well with that flower stamp. So we'll do the same thing we did on the envelope. We'll stamp a flower down here in the corner, one up here in the other corner, and then we'll use that Rococo Rose again. And add some color to this. Okay, now I think all of our stamping is done. And then we can start layering our card. So the inside layer, this is Whisper White, which, sorry, now I'm using up my Whisper White, but the basic white is now available. I've just gotten a package of the basic white. You can't even really tell the difference from the Whisper White to the basic white. So this layer is 4 by 5 1/4. My basic black card base is 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, and I've scored it at 4 1/4. And then I have a layer of the Gorgeous Grape, and this is 4 by 5 1/4. So now we're going to layer all of these together, and our card will be done. So again, this wink of touch of ink is one of the stamp sets. It's part of Sale-A-Bration. It's a larger set. There's quite a few stamps in it, as I showed you, with the leaves and the butterfly as well as the hummingbird. So it is available for free when you make a $100 product purchase, and your purchase has to be before shipping and taxes. In New Hampshire, we don't have any sales tax, so that's a good thing for us. We save some money that way on our purchases. So I'm just layering this on top there. You got a little bit of that purple peeking out, and then we will put this on the inside. And we have our coordinating envelope, and this card is good to go. And there we go. There are all my cards. And this is the stamp set. And then, of course, these were the blending brushes, which I really love. They're really nice. So thank you so much for watching. Again, leave a little sparkle wherever you go.